Hey, everybody, we made it. We made it to March 1st. It is day 60 of the year. So I had to start marking the pages because now it's a little more difficult to track which date it is. So I have to have the date, and I wrote them on the top of the pages of the book. So, there you go. For those of you who don't know, my name's Tartanya Show, and I do a video about daily devotionals from Marianne Williamson's book, A Year of Miracles. The reason why I do this channel is to help start your day off right on a positive note. Try to give you some almost ammunition, positive spiritual ammunition, to align you with your spirituality. And this book is very good. I'm going to have to start doing some things where I'm actually writing. I have things that I wrote that are nice, from my phone that I have going off on my alarms every day. I have several of them. Some were written by others. I have one that was written by me. And I just have these alarms going off on my phone every so often to remind me to stay aligned with my spirituality. And they really work out well. So here we go. We are on March 1st, day 60. And this is a reflection on giving birth to our spiritual selves. It isn't easy. Oh my goodness, it really isn't. Giving birth to our spiritual potential. It's just like, think about labor. I know for some women, labor's a breeze. For women like me, it was not. And it reminds me of giving birth to my spiritual self. There's been a lot of pain. On one end, it seems like I'm really just falling apart more than ever before. But then on another end of the spectrum, I'm, thriving. So, there you have it. But I have a long way to go too. Okay, so spiritual labor can be very arduous, one holy instant at a time. When we give up, that's a big one. Surrender, soften. Don't care if we're right. Don't care about anything. Forego our impatience. Detach from the opinions and prizes of the world. And rest in the arms of our spiritual self, our higher power, or God. But the end result is the love of our lives. We begin to feel more comfortable within ourselves, less laden by the chronic angst that marks the times in which we live. We begin to feel free at last of past hurts, able to fearlessly love again. I'm still working on that. We begin to exhibit the maturity and strength that were lacking in our personalities before. A new energy emanates from who we are, and others can see it too. What I meant when I put that, I'm still working on it, loving the people that have hurt me, or, what I mean? That is my tough spot. The things that they have done, there's many people that have done things and they've got a very narcissist attitude where they don't see what they've done, or they lie. And they don't want to admit to what they've done, so they change reality of what happened in a certain situation. You ever have that? So that way they don't want to take responsibility at all. I've done it too, but only, in little petty situations, but not in big ones. Big ones that alter the course of your life and really tear at your heartstrings. I've never done that, but I've had people do that to me. And it can be tough loving someone like that. Isn't that, battered wife syndrome, or what is it called? Not Stockholm. Stockholm is when you become your enemy, when you actually start exhibiting behaviors like them. But, you take a step back, and that's when you're, being abused, or you were abused, and then you basically go to your abuser and try to love them. Come on, what is that telling your abusers? That you're a pushover, right? In this world, it's all about ego. You got to drop the ego. That is very tough for me to do. I don't want to tell anyone I think it's okay what they've done. So I think the important thing is, what I didn't do on my part is I didn't, I tried, arguing with, this particular person. And, they have this idea in their head of something that did not occur, so they don't have to feel the guilt. they repress their guilt, and then they lash out at their victim. That is what happens when you repress guilt instead of facing what you've done. You can't get better. So your chances of re-abusing the person or hurting the person are higher. So, it's too bad that, they won't, come to terms with it, what, they didn't do or what they did do. But that's the way of it. You got to become stronger. You got to say, okay, this person they're lost spiritually. So you got to practice forgiveness, even if they haven't come to terms with what they did. That's a big lesson. All right. So I thought I'd just explain that a little bit, what my struggles are with this certain subject, because forgiveness is a big part of this. There it is. Surrender, soften, don't care if we're right. You got to get to that point. All right. Well, I hope this helped you today on giving birth to our spiritual selves. It's very important. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to be doing my other video after this uploads. Mwah. I love you guys. Thank you, my fellow brothers and sisters. Peace out.